How's everyone doing? Back to the lowdown and lockdown with MOBO. We just spoke to Angela Yee. Stories for days, man. Zeze!
Hi, how are you?
What's happening? I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get the comment in so everyone can see exactly what we are talking about. What's happening, though?
Nothing much. I'm just here, quarantining, my life away. Nothing too exciting.
Nothing exciting. What's quarantine life like for you?
Boring.
Really?
Boring. Yeah.
Why?
Because there's not much to do. I work normally as well.
Yeah.
So I've been made furlough.
So you're on furlough now as well?
I'm on furlough now. So which is it's interesting because I keep saying to people, probably never in my lifetime until I retire will I ever be able to work and to be working, to get paid and actually not be working.
Yeah.
I'm literally, I can't remember the last time I checked my emails. I can't, and it's just you're just here. There's nothing literally for you to do. But it's it's okay. It's okay. I live on my own, so it's very boring. I must admit, it's very.
Oh, so you're isolating on your own as well?
Yeah, so I'm just by myself. I've got a dog, which is okay, but he just doesn't leave me alone. Which it's a little bit like, can I just have some space? Like, please, just leave me for please, 5 minutes, please. My mum doesn't live too far, so I walk sometimes to my mum's and I'll just say hi to her. But it's very boring.
Okay. I can imagine, man. The lockdown's been so weird because I still have to go on radio, but it's like a ghost town in Central when you get into Central.
I can imagine.
Only until recently. I'm seeing more people riding like Boris bikes and doing group trips out, which is
right, yeah.
But yeah, that's how it is. Thank you very much for jumping on, though.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. Like MOBOs. I grew up watching MOBOs, so it's a bit like, what? Okay, this is...
A little birdie tells me you've worked in the MOBOs before as well.
Yes, I did. They used to do the pre-awards.
Yeah.
Maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was for the R&B. I think it was like R&B, gospel, and another category. I can't remember which category it was, and they had like a pre-one so that they would get their spotlight as well. Because I think in the main show, just I'm guessing because of like time on air and stuff, they don't always get to see that. Do you get what I mean? It was a really good experience. I had fun and I enjoyed it. It's weird now, like full circle, right?
Full circle, yeah. No, but it's good though. It's exciting, right?
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's very weird to me. All of this kind of very weird.
Really, you're used to being on the interviewer side.
Yeah, I am. I was thinking about that today. It's kind of weird that I interview and then I get interviewed as well. It's like a weird type of like dynamic. Do you get what I mean? So
I'm so bad at it. You can't interview me like I'm the worst.
The thing is, when I'm being interviewed, I like to try and be like how I would like to be.
Exactly.
So I try to give a lot. As like Angela was just saying, having someone that doesn't talk is the worst thing ever. Or having someone that talks too much, because I talk a lot as well, so cut me off when I need to. Sometimes people talk a lot and you're just like, all right, give it a rest. All right, I get it, we get it. Just,
if you see me closing like this, it means you're talking too much.
yeah.
But you know what? You're such an interesting person because I feel like a lot of people form opinions of you based on headlines. And obviously the most wildest stuff is the stuff that gets shared most of the time on these platforms that we sort of hear about you by. So I wanted to know more about you, Zeze, before Zeze Millz, the show, and how you got to where you are, if that makes sense.
So how it all started, I actually used to do acting. That was my main thing. I used to do acting. That's what I wanted to be. And then you get to maybe 25 and then you realize you're not going to be Halle Berry. So then you start thinking about other things that you possibly could do. And I think at 25, I had this quarter breakdown crisis because I was like, what am I going to do? Because I've always thought I wanted to do acting. I went to theatre school. I went to Sylvia Young full time. I've always done acting. I've always been in that type of world. And then nothing was really happening with that. And I kind of then just thought, oh, I've always been opinionated, so I'll just maybe start sharing my views of my opinions. And it started with Headscarf Diaries, this thing that I used to do. And I first started Headscarf Diaries actually on YouTube. I put the camera there and I just talk. And then something just wasn't like fitting. It wasn't something wasn't clicking. I just don't think it seemed authentic enough for people. Do you get what I mean? And at the time, I felt like if you want to call it influencer or vlogging market was growing like rapidly. So I thought I need to do something that's going to be different from everybody else. So I kind of then just thought, you know what? I'll forget the camera and setting it up. I'm just going to use my phone.
Okay.
And I'm not going to like wear any makeup. I'm not going to wear anything like that. It's literally just going to be me in a headscarf having like a 1-minute rant. And this is before you could like do Instagram TV.
So how long ago was this?
This was maybe, I started Headscarf Diaries maybe about, I want to say like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So about four now. Coming up to 4 years, I started Headscarf Diaries, and it was literally just me talking about anything. Anything that came to my head, I would talk about it. Men, relationships, whatever. And that kind of started, picking up and building traction.
Yeah. People
started sharing it, and I'd get good interaction in my comments and stuff like that. So then naturally that started building. And then after about a year or so, I thought, I need to do something else now. I need to like go on to the next thing. So maybe I'll just try and do Zeze Millz show. But at the time it wasn't called Zeze Millz show, but I just thought I need to go on to the next thing. I don't know what the next progression is, but I feel like I've built enough thing around the Headscarf Diaries, now move on to something else.
Yeah.
And I spoke to somebody and they was like, do you know who I think would be good? Maybe you should talk to is the guy that does back chat. And I was like, okay, because that would be your demographic of, you know, something. So I was like, all right, we'll see. I kind of just forgot about it and I was thinking, all right, we'll see what happens. And then randomly one day I was in IKEA and saw Andy in IKEA, and that's the guy that does who's like the creator of back chat. And I was like, okay, I literally saw him and I thought, oh, should I go up to him? And I'm really bad at things like that. I'm very bad at networking. I'm very bad at going up to people because I've got this thing about not wanting to be a beg. I hate the feeling of like, oh, I
don't think anyone in the UK wants to be.
I hate that feeling of, oh, now I've gone up to them and be like, oh, can you, like, I'm this person, oh, can you? So I was just like, do you know what? This is probably the only chance I'm ever going to get to bump into him. And if I don't speak to him now, then I'm going to have to DM him. And that is just going to be annoying in itself because I'm going to have to say, oh, I saw you in IKEA. Anyway, so I just went up to him. I said, look, hi, I've got this thing online called Headscarf Diaries, and I just talk a load of crap, really. But I've got it does really well, and people like it, and I want to take it to the next level. So I think that your demographic that you've built with Backchat would fit my demographic. So I think it would be a good thing for us to collaborate. That's a good word actually to say when you don't want to like begging. To say like collaborate. It seems like your worth and their worth is kind of almost matched, but my worth wasn't matched to Backchat. But I thought, okay, I'm just going to be like, yeah, let's collaborate. So he was just like, okay, give me your number and we'll set up a meeting. And then like I messaged him and I said, hi, whatever. Anyway, I met up with him the following week. And then the following week we shot Zeze Millz show, and then that was it. Okay.
And was this Zeze Millz show in the format of when you're on the chair talking to camera, or is this interview format? What's the format when you
it started off just as I wanted to keep it to like Headscarf Diaries, which was maybe originally it was like I wanted to maybe do it with 3 other girls. So it was me instead with 3 other girls, and it was supposed to be like a slumber party vibe. And Andy was just kind of like, okay, the only way that this would be worth my while, because it's also like a business transaction, is that we need to up the production. So for me to up the production, I would suggest that you do a hot topics like you do on Headscarf Diaries, talking about things, but make it a little bit more glamorous and production. Like you're sitting on a chair, and that was how the Zeze Millz show started.
Oh, okay.
I didn't start doing interviews. Originally, when I started doing interviews, it was maybe like somebody in the bed. I used to do ones in the bed.
So was that in the bed? Was that still Headscarf Diaries, or that
was supposed to be like Headscarf Diaries with like a guest?
Okay,
And then then we kind of saw that Headscarf Diary did okay, but it wasn't doing anything amazing. Do you get what I mean? I think people didn't like the fact that it was, in a weird way, that element of the production had gone up. Because they liked the authenticity of me just holding the camera. That's what they enjoyed about Headscarf Diaries. So then, as you see, the Headscarf Diaries thing has kind of it hasn't happened for a while on Zeze Millz show. And then naturally we then started to get interviews and stuff like that. And then that's when it was like, okay, now I'm being known for interviews now. So we'll run with the interview aspect as well.
All right, park that there. Because I even wanted to get even still more before that journey. Obviously you was acting and stuff. How hard was that conversation at 25, and how much of your life was geared towards going into acting? Like, how hard was that conversation with yourself?
Oh my God, like my whole life, all I've ever wanted to do was be an actress. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Like, that's it. So even when it came to, I was working part-time, but I was doing acting, even when it came to realizing that, okay, I'm 25 now and I can't work part-time all my life because I'm chasing this dream of acting. So what job now am I going to find that I can do that is still within the field of entertainment that I'm going to enjoy, but it's going to make me money so that I can also survive and live the life that I would like to live. So then things like working with the MOBOs happened. I started working with my friend Steph, who was working, and Black Grape, they was working with MOBOs. That's how things like that happened. And I started to kind of get into PR. Then I realized I didn't really like PR because I'd be doing stuff with PR and I'd be thinking, I should just be trying to bust my own career instead of busting someone else's career. This don't make no sense to me. Because stuff like that would always be like playing on my mind. I'd be like, I'm not really a PR person. Then I started getting into like marketing. So that's what I do. Marketing, that's what I do for my 9 to 5.
That's your 9 to 5 now. Okay.
That's my 9 to 5. So I started getting into marketing, and that's like, that was a really it was hard. It was really hard for me to digest that maybe I'm not going to be an actress. Maybe that's not what's going to happen, or maybe it's not going to happen anytime soon. So that was really hard. Like, I remember like 25, leading up to the age of 25, which now I look back on, because now I'm 30.
Okay, so this is 5 years ago, basically. This is
5 years ago, but leading up to the age of 25, I would like have little mini breakdowns, like crying. I would be like, oh, like my life, like I'm not going to be what I think I should be. Like, I think it's really hard. And going to things like places like Sylvia Young, where you're almost in a bubble. My school was very small. There's 150 of us in the school. It was one class per year. So during that time, I was auditioning for things. So you lived in Sylvia's, you lived in a little bubble. Like, they didn't, like, I love that school, but I always say they don't really prepare you for the real world. They don't prepare you for the fact that you actually might not come out and be who you've always wanted to be. Do you get what I mean? So that was hard to digest. But then then the whole Zeze Millz and Headscarf Diary thing happened, and it kind of just it kind of took off in a weird way.
Okay, sick, man. Guys, remember, please, I see a lot of people asking questions in the comments. Ask on the question feature, then I can definitely at least see them, because they're going fast. They're going too fast for me, All right, cool. So you have that conversation. The reason I ask, because it's almost like when you grow up, you're meant to know what you're meant to do super early. And if you don't, it's hard. And like, if you don't get there straight away, it's hard. But some people cannot find the other thing. That they like, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that don't get their first goal. It's like, oh, I'm stuck now. But you've obviously reworked yourself into the role that you are now. And do you enjoy your work now, in terms of your creative work now?
I really, really enjoy it. I think I enjoy it more than acting at the moment.
Okay.
It could always be a thing when I go back to acting. Like, weirdly, there's like opportunities that are coming up now, because I've kind of built this name and brand for myself. So it's weird, because it kind of come back full circle. It's coming back full circle in a way. So it's weird. But I did play about a year ago, and honestly, I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't enjoy acting. I was just like, I don't really know. And my mum was kind of like, oh, did you like it? And I was like, not really. Don't know if I want to do acting anymore. And she was like, really? Because that's all I've ever told her I wanted to do. So she was shocked as well. She was like, really? Like, what do you mean? And I think she still clings on to that thing of me doing acting. Like, she'll send me stuff like, oh, look, look at this, look here, or they're still like, and I'm just like, yeah, it's not really what I'm passionate about anymore. I'm passionate about the show and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So before the interviews, then, is the traction from the show really good? Like, have people started commenting on the fact that you have an opinion yet, way before the interviews?
Yeah, I think people started, because the Headscarf Diaries was always my opinion, and that's how. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time with Headscarf Diaries, almost building up that thing of my opinion is wild or whatever. Wild. Yeah. Or controversial. So people just kind of started knowing me for that. But then I think when the show happened, then it started to go on a larger scale, and it started to be shared a lot more. Okay,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. And did you like the fact that you was becoming known for your opinion, or was it like a mini project for you?
Like, no, I liked it.
You like the fact that you're getting known for your opinion?
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't mind, because I did think there was a lot of opinions out there like mine. Or there were, but people was afraid to say it. So I enjoy being that person that I know there's a lot of people thinking what I'm thinking. You're too scared to say it, but don't worry, I'll be the person that will do it for us. I've got everyone, don't worry.
And the thing that I find interesting about Zeze Millz, even just seeing from a distance sort of thing, is like a lot of people will go with the popular opinion online, but as you said, there are a lot of people that share your opinion, and the more you've shared it, the more that's come out. Even though sometimes I don't agree or whatever, but you do see people do agree more. Why do you think people don't share their opinion?
Because they're scared of I think they're scared of the backlash, and that's and I think also, in a weird way, I think even the backlash that I get actually puts people off sharing their opinion. Because when I share my opinion that a lot of people might agree with, they might see the backlash that I get and they think, do you know what, I don't really want that smoke, so I'd rather not say anything either. But I don't really mind, to be honest with you.
Why don't you mind? Like, what in you has that thing of like, I don't really care what you think sort of thing? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just don't care. Yeah. I don't care about sharing my opinion. I don't want to ever feel like I'm closed, that I can't ever say how I really feel. And I think if I'm closing myself, then because I'm scared of what people might say about me. But that's how I truly feel. So why shouldn't I be able to say how I truly feel just because it doesn't fit the grain of what everyone else thinks? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone has a free will, and they're allowed to speak, but really, in a society that we live, we've been made to feel like, no, you can't actually speak unless it fits what everyone else thinks. So actually, no, don't speak. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. And what was the first big backlash you had to something that you said? Do you remember?
I think I always get a big backlash when I talk about colorism. Okay. So whenever I talk about colorism and I start maybe calling out a few rappers about the lack of darker skinned women in their music videos or the lack of representation, I always get a big backlash. Like, even up to this day, if I talk about colorism, I will literally get dragged. Oh, no one cares, man. Shut up. You're so bitter. What's wrong with you? Like, that is when I always get the biggest backlash all the time. Yeah.
But then you share your opinions on, say, rappers and videos. That's one. Their partners. You have a few opinions on.
I just say that there's definitely a trend when it comes to black successful men and who they date.
Why do you think there's a trend? What is that?
I just think that's because I think that we've been conditioned to think that only a certain type of beauty standards is beautiful. And that's not often women of a darker skin tone. That's not what we've been shown from the beginning of time. Do you get what I mean? We have European beauty standards. Do you get what I mean? So I think that's what it is. I don't think it's just because I don't think they necessarily go out of their way intentionally, but subconsciously, yes, I think they do.
That's what happens. Okay, so then on the flip side then, what becomes hard in your career in terms of getting opportunities? What's been the hard parts of your presenting side of your career?
I think it's people not wanting. I think people are a bit worried about co-signing me in a weird way.
You reckon so?
100%. Like, I've had people say, oh, I don't want to come on this. I don't really come on the show because, like, I know people don't really like her. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't ever want to see. So if I've had like a falling out with somebody, they don't want to then look like they're co-signing me because they might not want to mess up their opportunity with that person. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the UK industry is it's all small. Where it's very small. Everyone knows each other. You can go to an event, you can see somebody there that, you know, so everyone kind of just sticks together. Like the in crowd sticks together in a weird way.
Yeah.
So that's probably the hardest thing that I've experienced. I know like someone might want to come on the show, but they won't want to come on the show because they don't want maybe their brethren that's a well-known rapper to see that, oh, it looks like you're co-signing Zeze, but me and Zeze had a back and forth the other day online, so why are you going on her show for? Like, what, do you get what I mean? There's all of
yeah.
that.
So how do you go? Obviously, you said like the UK industry is small, yeah. I think we all know it's quite small because we're a small country, basically.
Right, yeah.
So how do you find going out and being around people that have had so much opinions on what you said? How do you do that?
I've never ever gone out. So I always worry about saying this because someone might try and prove me wrong now. But I've never ever gone out and had like a bad experience. Ever. I've never gone out and had a bad experience. If anything, like I'll go out, I might see somebody that we've had, and then we might just smile at each other, or have or bust a little joke to get them mean, or they'll be like, "See you, yeah, you're trouble," and then it's like, because when people see me in real life, they realize that, oh, she's actually a cool person. She's not this like bitch. Do you get what I mean? It's hard for them because I might even like bust a smile at them or have a little flirt with them, and then it's all kind of gone out the window. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I've never had a bad experience with anybody, if I'm being honest with you. Also, we don't like each other. Don't get me wrong, there's people that I don't like, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you don't like people, but like, it's not bad vibes. Like, I'm not going to go up to them and be like, we just don't act like each other's in the room, which is the mature thing to do.
Yeah. Because as you do say, the UK is small, so like everyone is at the same things, if that makes sense. Yeah. I can imagine it being quite like, if it was me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wonder who I'm going to bump into today. I wonder who's going to say what about something. And when you're putting out a lot of content, you might not even know exactly what you said in every single situation that people will call you up on. Yeah. If that makes sense. Do you ever find people not call you out online, but would say comments online, but when they see you, it's not that?
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, but I just keep a mental note in my head. So if I have people, like I've got people that will be like in my DMs and be like, oh, key, and then I'll see them in the comment section, and I'll just be like, oh, okay, right, I'll take a mental note of this, and then when I see them in public, I just ignore them because I think you're fake, because I saw you. Like, I don't mind you disagree with me. Everyone is entitled to disagree with me, but don't like be in my DMs saying, do you know what you're doing is so good, keep it up, and then I see you in the comments doing like, oh yeah, this girl's always chatting shit. It's like, oh, okay. But when I see you, I just won't say nothing to you.
Okay, yeah. And you get that a lot, I can imagine. It's
I've had it a few times. But I don't, it's just how the world is, isn't it? Everyone's like that.
Yeah, no, facts. I see you pop up in Young Bane's video.
Yeah.
That was nice, changing the tide. I interviewed him. I asked him, where is he going to take you out once quarantine is over? Where do you want to go? I've
told him that he's too young for me. He's really young, you know. He's way too young for me. Yeah, of course. He's way too young. He's a baby to, like, he's so young. And
that's cool, man.
He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. He's handsome, but he's too young for me. And I think that I would like not to mix business and pleasure.
Really? Is that possible though? That means you're gonna have to go for someone that's out of the industry.
No, I can go with someone that's in the industry, but not really in the industry, if you get what I mean.
So like how?
So like maybe behind the scenes, or they kind of are a part of the culture, but they're not really a part of the culture. Do you get what I'm saying? But I don't think it would make sense for me to like be with any rappers or anything like that.
No way. What about the excitement? It doesn't excite you?
I'm 30, babes. I've had a lot of excitement in my life. And I'm very, very much over that excitement. I'd like to settle down and have some kids.
Okay, fair play, fair play.
And that's another thing. Someone like young Bane, he's way too, like, I always say this, like, live you're like in your 20s, in your early 20s at that. Like, enjoy the money that you've made. Like, go out, go on the holidays, do what you want to do. Like, I'll be too much stress for you. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Yes.
Kanye said an accountant.
Yes, that's what I just saw. An accountant, something like that. Yeah, something just nice and reserved.
Okay.
But you know that he might be an accountant in the scene, so he understands the culture.
Yeah.
But I do think my platform sometimes is off-putting to men anyway. So
You feel they're intimidated?
Yeah, and I think that any kind of guy that I would go for, because I like kind of like the alpha man, which is kind of like, you know, that presence about him. I think it will be very hard for him to kind of understand and not take it personal when maybe me and somebody going for a back and forth online. Like, if somebody decides to call me like a bitch online, a well-known person, which has happened a couple times, as my boyfriend, you're gonna want to defend me or say something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it just you know. So I think a lot of men kind of stay clear of that because they don't want to put themselves into situations.
Remember, guys, ask your questions on the question app, please. I'm definitely going to get to them as well. People, I'm seeing Fredo's name pop up a lot. I can't lie, I'm seeing it pop up a lot in the comments. Let's start there and work through your online bust-ups you've had you've had with the UK music scene. Let's start at Fredo. And why do you think it happens to you? Because you put your opinion out there.
Because I put my opinion out there. Like, I put my opinion out there. So if I put my opinion out there, I have to be ready for what people are going to say, which is fine. I think Fredo is a weird one because I don't think how it started with me and Fredo, there was actually something that I said about Fredo. It was something I was talking about colorism, and they put it on UK Gossip, and he didn't like it. So he was like, oh, look at this dumb bitch, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's how the thing has kind of we've always like butted heads. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I thought it was the 50K thing.
No, that was after.
That
was after me talking about that. But I could almost bet you that by the end of the year, Fredo will come on my show. I guarantee.
You're putting it out there like that.
100%.
Why'd you say? And why'd you say so confidently?
Just because I just like, as far like I can bet that Fredo will come on.
Yeah. Have there been any other people that never in a million years you would have thought of come on and it's come back round and they have?
The only reason why, it's weird as well. There's someone in the comments just said he follows her, like, because the other day somebody messaged me out of the blue, was like, oh my god, Fredo follows you, and I was thinking, really? Like, he blocked me a couple. I've been blocked. So then I went and I looked and he followed me. So I thought, okay, cool. I followed him back. So to me, that was like, all right, cool. Like, I don't necessarily agree with stuff that you say. However, I have to almost respect your thing. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And that's kind of the brand that I decided. I said this when I first started with the show. And I said to Andy, I said, even if people don't like me, they're going to have to come on my show. Like, it won't even, like, your press or your PR will say to you, you have to go on Zeze Millz show. Not because you like her, not because you want to, but just because she has, like, such an impact within the culture that you'd be dumb not to go on her show. Yeah. Understand what I'm saying? And that is kind of, like, basically the brand that I've decided to build for myself is, even if you don't like me, unfortunately, you will have to come on the show and sit down with me.
Okay. That's so interesting to hear. Have you ever felt like you got it wrong? Have you ever gone back on any of your opinions?
Not, I don't think I've ever no, there was one time when I spoke about Meek Mill. And
what happened?
I spoke about Meek Mill and him getting arrested. And I kind of said, well, everyone's like, free my guy. But really, does he he kind of, if he's broken the law, he should go back to prison. That's what I said. And obviously that didn't go down well with everyone. There was like absolutely no And then I watched his documentary that he done on not Netflix, Amazon. And I saw basically what the judge had put him through, and what the judge just always coming down on him like a ton of bricks for absolutely nothing. And on my show, I said, do you know what? I take that back, what I said about Meat Meal, because I didn't really know about the case too tough. So I take that back. But anything else, no, I don't.
So you're telling me out of all the opinions you've shared, only once you've gone back? Only
once I've gone back and thought, you know what, I should not have said that. But most of the things I say, I know people think I'm really sporadic with what I'm saying, but like I genuinely think about everything I'm saying. Like even now, as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about what I'm saying, because there's a strong possibility I could say something, somebody's screen recording this, it's gonna go and it's gonna go end up on a blog pages.
Oh, so you actively think about what you say before you say it?
I always think about what I'm saying, because I know just because whatever I say, someone will always try to pick at it and then put it out there and make it seem like it's more than what it is. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm always thinking like, okay, what am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? Okay, don't say that or say that. So that's how my head's always ticking all the time.
Yeah, no, I hear you. What about the chicken shop date scenario? Did you feel like you was fully in line? Like you still stand by what you said?
100%. I stand.
But people that don't know it, break that down.
Well, the thing that happened with that was there was a backstory behind that as well. I probably came from emotions at that point as well, because I had just interviewed Heady One, and Heady One team decided that they didn't want the interview to come out, and I was really annoyed with that, because to me it was like my first big kind of like artist to come on the show. To kind of like, I was thinking, this is the interview that is gonna like push me into different like realms. Do you get what I mean? It shows that I can have musicians on my show. And they literally, like the day before, they basically said, we don't want it to go out. And I was like, why? What's the reason? And they kind of came with like some cock and bull story, like, oh, we don't want him to really be seen in that light, etc. Blah blah blah. And I thought it was a really good interview. We didn't talk about anything to do with his like road life or anything like that. It was literally in the bed. We were talking. It was very like he'd seen him in a different light, and I was really annoyed with that. And then like a week later or 2 weeks later, I saw that he went on a chicken shop date, and I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, what is this? Do you know what I mean? And I can guarantee you that she's going to make you look dumb. She's going to say something that's going to make you look dumb, because her humor goes over a lot of people's head. But she often, to me, like takes the piss, but in an acting way. That's her character. Yeah. So I was thinking, I know there's going to be something in there that is going to, it's not going to, you know. So I just basically said, I think it's funny that a lot of black artists decide to go on chicken shop date, but they don't want to support grassroots black shows. Yeah. And at the beginning, at the first, I don't think anyone cared about it, but it only blew up when Giggs decided that he wanted to get involved. Yeah. And that's the only reason why everything got blown out of the water, because he basically said, I was bullying her. And all this other stuff and etc. etc. And I was just like, first of all, I'm not bullying her, I'm sharing my opinion. She understood what I said, because she even came to my page and said, you know what, as a white woman, I understand that I have privilege. I do have privilege. However, I have worked really hard to get to where I am. But I do get that.
So that's the part, right? Because without knowing her backstory, you don't really know how hard she worked to get to where she has got to. So that was the point with me. It's like, because I've known how hard she's worked, it's unfortunate of who she is. And I know your issue's not with her, but she gets caught in the crossfire.
If I'm keeping it 100, I do not think, and like people say what they can say, I do not think that a white woman will ever have to work as hard as a black woman in this industry. Okay. No matter how hard you think you're working, you will never work as hard as a black woman that is trying to bust through this industry, because that's how it is. Do you get what I mean? So that's not taking anything away from her, but what you feel like you worked as really hard from, is not what I have, what I will experience, or what any other black woman like Julie will ever have to experience, what Rem or London will ever have to experience. You know, she won't experience that because we live in the UK is predominantly is white. So obviously if you're going to put someone on national TV, you're going to appeal to the larger demographic, which
yeah.
I understand that it's a business. Do you understand what I'm saying? So of course you're going to put somebody on your TV screen that everyone can be familiar with. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's just how the cookie crumbles. But you won't work as hard. So yeah, you work really hard, but you have to understand that you have a certain privilege that I won't ever be able to access.
To take into consideration. Okay, yeah. That's fair play. But you see what I mean by you don't get a chance to break this down like this, if that makes sense. Because people can hear this and be like, oh, because all we see is the headline most of the time. And I'm personally someone, I don't really go through comments to decipher what people have said and stuff. Like, even it caught me out, say, with the last run-in with Renee, I think it was. Like,
oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know, like, apologies had been made and all of that stuff until, like, late.
Right.
Yeah, you don't really get a chance to share like this. Or maybe people don't look for you to share like this. They only look for the controversy, maybe.
But because also, I've realised as well that I used to get really annoyed at, like the gossip pages because, like you said, they would, like, take the clickbait stuff and then not put maybe the lead up to me explaining or the after bit of me explaining. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but then I understand that they also have a job to do. They have a job to make sure they get clicks, and they have a job to make sure that their comment section is popping. So I used to, back in the day, spend a lot of times in the comments being like, well, if you actually watch the show, you would know that I said this, I said that. Do you get what I mean? But now it's all business, isn't it? It's all just like everybody wants to get as much likes and shares and retweets as possible. So that's just how it goes. And I don't take anything personal. If people really want to see me see what I think, then they can go into the show. Sometimes if it gets out of hand, I will like put like a tweet or something and explain what I meant. Just to, if I genuinely want people to see like I didn't mean it like this. This is what I meant, but you didn't get a chance to, you know what I mean?
Let's see it. Speaking about the pages, the Shade Borough actually sent us a question for you.
I'll have that.
They wanted to know, they wanted to know, why did you not put more pressure on Spark Nation pastor Tobi during your interview? I actually haven't seen this one.
I think the thing with that one was, I spoke about it in my show this week actually, is I'm actually not sure what people wanted me to do. Like, I honestly, this is the first time the guy has spoken.
Yeah.
About it, okay? He did the one with the Reggie Yates, and I think people, it was really quick. It wasn't even a proper interview. That was a really quick like segment. So this was the first time that he's actually spoken, okay? And it was my job at that point to kind of give him a fair chance to speak. Yeah, that's what I felt he deserved, a fair chance to speak, because anyone that watches my show, I'm a very fair person. Like, how I think is not like, oh, because the masses say that this is such and such, that means now I'm going to come on and condemn you because everyone else is saying it. I want to hear what you have to say. And it's weird because I could almost guarantee you that if I spent 45 minutes cutting him off, telling him what he was saying was shit, that everybody would have got onto my back and said, you didn't give him a chance to speak. Why didn't you let him speak? Because he would have said something that we would have caught him out and da-da-da-da-da. But every time I do an interview, all the comments say is, you don't let your guest speak. So this time I thought, you know what? Because this man's never spoken, I'm going to give him a chance to speak. And if anything, if you're smart, you will see him catching himself out. Sometimes you don't need me to be like, oh, you said, he will dig himself. If you think there's a hole to dig, he will dig his own self a hole. And that's just by sometimes letting them speak. And also, I've also spoke about Spark Nation and my opinion on Spark Nation. And people should have known that I was never going to come in on some venting with him, because there's certain things that I think that what he does is good for the community. All these other fraud allegations. And I'm very much, when it comes to a lot of things in the press, I'm very much, okay, has the person been charged? Have they gone to trial? Have they been convicted? I'm not really a fan of this convicted by social media. Do you understand what I'm saying? the Metropolitan Police have interviewed him. Scotland Yard have interviewed him. Everyone else has interviewed him. Like people that are trained interrogators. But you expected him to come on my show and almost confess to whatever it is that you believe he's supposed to have done. Like, the man's a preacher. He's been preaching for years and years and years. They are designed to speak to us and to make us feel good. Yeah. So all these people that are like, oh, he ran circles around it. It's like, not really. Maybe I'm not going with the grain of this man has to be guilty. Do you get what I mean?
Okay, yeah, okay. I hear
you. So, I think some of his stuff are questionable, and I said that to him. I think it's questionable, but I'm very much of the narrative, like, at least let the man be charged before everyone starts going on this, you know, like, crucify him. You get what I'm saying?
It's so tricky, because say like with Pastor Tobi, it's so hard because there's so much flying around, you almost don't want to do that interview, but you want to do that interview at the same time. 100%. So for me, like, yeah, I'll look at it and be like, what happens if in 5-10 years time, it comes out that all the allegations are true? And I conducted an interview that was not too easy, but like, I conducted an interview and I laughed and joked in it. But really and truly, it was real there, and it's not, like, in a weird sense, obviously it's not as big a scale, but say like the R. Kelly interviews from earlier and all the jokes people made and stuff. Yeah. It's like now there's a lot of outrage because a lot of people are finding out that a lot of it was true, if that makes sense. So how did you sort of decide to take the interview and navigate toting that line, if that makes sense?
So it was weird because I've got like a hit list of people that I want to interview, and he was on the hit list, and then they reached out to me. They reached out to me and said,
really?
They reached out to me and said, like, how do you feel about interviewing him? And I was a bit like, I don't think I was hesitant. The time when I realized I was hesitant was when I put the picture up on the internet and I realized how much people disliked him. And I knew already that I hadn't gone overly hard on him, or there was no like big like back and forth of like a disagreement. And I knew, and I said to my friends, I don't think people are going to be happy with the way that I've conducted the interview. Yeah, I could tell that from when I put the picture up and how many people are like, I hope you dragged him. And I was thinking, I didn't really drag him, to be honest with you, but okay, you'll find out yourself. Cool. But I knew, and that's probably, I did have quite a bad anxiety about that interview because I knew that people were not going to be that happy with it or happy. I just think to myself, like, I did the best that I could. People wanted some sort of, people saying I should have done more research and all this stuff. But what I knew about him is that I've watched his interview, that he's very good at talking and getting himself out of things. Do you get what I mean? Okay. Yeah. So my thing was, if I came to him with certain allegations, there's not actual proof. It's all like, people in my DMs was, you should have asked about this. It was like, your friend's friend. Oh, my friend lived in the house and they left the house a mess. Okay, so how would you like me to ask him that question? Oh, but I know somebody that lived in the house and they said that you left the house in a mess. He'll just make me look dumb. Do you get what I mean? He'd make me look stupid by asking him those dumb questions. So any questions that I asked him were things that he's maybe been arrested for, or he's been questioned for already, for him to get his side of things, not kind of like he say, she
hearsay.
Say.
You can't really ask on hearsay.
I can't. These type of interviews, you can't ask hearsay things. Do you get what I mean? So it's just, I guess that's just.
Wait though, because actually this brings me to the next one, where our worlds almost collided in a weird sense. But the Wiley interview, because to be fair, a lot of Wiley stuff are slightly hearsay, but because we've been hearing it for so long, it's almost become like this could be a possible truth, if that makes sense.
I think the only hearsay thing I asked Wiley about was his stuff that's happened about him being with underage girls. Okay. That's the only hearsay thing I asked him about. And that was because, as you said, it was something that has been going around the culture for like over 10 years or something. Do you get what I mean? So it would have been, I feel like it would have been wrong for me not to. Now, somebody that interviews Pastor Tobi in 5 years' time, they might now be like, well, these are allegations that have been going around. Okay. These allegations that people are putting forward to me are like months, or do you know what I mean? There's no substantial weight behind them. Do you get what I'm saying? So the stuff with Wiley, it was kind of, someone said, and Wiley doing drugs and stuff like that. Again, these are all historical things that people continuously ask Wiley, or my reason for asking Wiley that is because his behavior is very like all over the place sometimes. So I could back it up with something. Do you understand what I'm saying? I could say, well, you do come across online sometimes a little bit like you're not really all there at the moment. What's that about? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did your opinion of Wiley change during the interview? Or I don't know if you've known him like previously.
So I didn't know Wiley before the interview. I'd never seen him, like, I'd never spoken to him before. I think I might have seen him at one party, I think, but he would never have known that I was there. But I think Wiley is like a pure soul in a weird way. I think like, his intentions are pure. Do you get what I mean? I just think that sometimes he just doesn't communicate well, and that's kind of like me. So I guess that's why I always kind of took a liking to Wiley, because he's just free with what he says. Do you get what I'm saying? He doesn't care. So that, but I didn't have anything bad to say about Wiley. He's been like very supportive of me and stuff like that, even after the interview. So I always have like a lot of love for Wiley.
What's been your favorite one so far?
Do you know what interview I really liked? I really enjoyed my interview with Kaide, you know, Roll Safe.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, but that's because I've known him for over like 5 years.
Okay.
But I felt really comfortable with him. And it was a nice conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? And I really liked my interview with Castillo as well. That one really surprised me. My interview with Castillo, that really surprised me.
Why?
Because I just didn't think that, I didn't think we'd have that much to talk about, if I'm being honest with you. My production manager's like, I think we should do Castillo, and I was just like, all right, cool, we'll see what happens. We did Castillo, and I really enjoyed it. Like before, because all my videos got deleted off YouTube because of the channel. But no worries. Thanks. Before that happened though, my Castillo interview was on over 500,000. And it was on over 500,000 views for Castillo, and that just showed, I think the dynamic between us, people was just like, oh, this is sick. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed. And someone saying Fraud Bay, I actually really enjoyed Fraud Bay as well.
What do you think about the recent what did he do? He did something that was, what did he do?
He's really
naming
people that he'd been with and stuff.
What do you think about that?
So corny. Any guy that does that is so corny. Like big man, you're big man in your hair trying to like talk about women that you've been with. It's just foul. Do you get what I mean? There's no need for it, but I'm not surprised at him for doing that. If you get what I mean? It's not out of character for him to do something like that.
All right then, cool. I've got more questions for you. I want to get into what people have been asking. Let me see if I can get something. Let me see. Someone said, are you and Fredo friends?
We're not, I wouldn't say friends, but we're cool with each other. I wouldn't say friends.
Oh, Zeze, you're with me?
I'm here.
Yeah. Does your team pay talent to come on the show?
No.
Okay.
I think I've sometimes I might pay travel expense, but I think I've done that a couple times, but that's if they ask for it. So something that I should say this now, everyone's going to be fucking asking me for travel expenses. But no, because I think people, as much as people try to be like, oh, Zeze Millz show is beneath them, they understand that it does its rounds in it. So it benefits everyone. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Why are people so negative towards you?
I just think they just don't understand me. And I think it's trendy to not trendy. I just think it's cool at the moment to seem as you're against me. But I don't think, I think it's full circle. I think people are very fickle as well. The moment something big happens, then all of a sudden it's like, do you know what, Z? I knew it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, no, piss off.
Yeah. Okay. Your opinion on 6ix9ine?
Oh, I think
people love to know people's opinion on 6ix9ine.
I know it's like, oh, are you condoning snitching
or
not? And if you are, you're cancelled in my world. That's basically what people want to know. I just think I actually agreed with what Anthony you were saying, is that 6ix9ine was never a roadman, right? So they monetized of him pretending to be a roadman. So he was pretending. So what did you think was going to happen when shit hit the fan? He was going to keep on pretending to be a roadman and live this fantasy in jail. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, what did you think was going to happen? He's just, yeah. Who's your
inspirations?
I think, do you know what? People, I don't know if I have one like set person, but I think it changes all the time. I watch people, like I recently watched the Michael Jordan documentary, and just his drive and the way that he continuously like kept trying and didn't give up, and he was just always wanting to be the best at what he wanted to do. That those type of things inspire me. And then obviously you just got people that are kind of in the same thing that I do, like I don't know, like even people like Julie, that she inspires me because she's set the path. Even people like, just loads of people that have come before me. People are obviously like the obvious ones, like Oprah Winfrey and all those type of things. Not that I agree with anything that she does, but you can't deny that she's created a lane for herself. Do you get what I'm saying? So those type of people, she can stuff wrong as well. Exactly, all those people,
Yeah, I bought a basketball after this Michael Jordan documentary.
How good is that documentary?
It's too good.
It's insane. It's so good.
Honestly, it's so good.
There's so many things that you just don't even know about him.
Yeah.
His drive is just like, whoa.
Unmatched. Like,
it's so unmatched.
If you want to be great, that's what you need to sort of have, if that makes sense.
100%. And that's sometimes I think to myself, maybe I don't, because I slept in bed today. It's about 4 o'clock, but you know, that's life. What can you do about it?
I hear you. But what are your, like, where do you want to take this now in terms of your career? Not like where do you see yourself in 5 years, but in your heart, where do you want to be next? That makes sense.
In my heart, I want to be like the biggest. Because this is the thing, I don't even know what to call myself sometimes. Like, do I call myself like a personality, or am I an interviewer? I don't really know how I like box myself. But I want to be one of the greatest to ever, who does what I do, interviewers, whatever, to come out of the UK.
Okay.
And that's my goal, is to kind of like continue to kind of set trends and do what I need to do, and just be the best at it, or one of the best. Do you get what I mean? So that's my dream. And just to be able to interview everybody and anybody. Do you get what I mean? Like, I would not happily, but I would have, like, I don't want to just do art, like artist. I would want, sometimes I might want to have like a convicted murderer on my show. Do you get what I mean? Like, that's the type of different things that I want to get into, because I think those things are interesting. Do you know what I mean? Because we don't just, I think sometimes in the UK we just box ourselves in. And I've even said this to myself, like, oh, if I do this, I can't do that. And I'm kind of starting to go away from that now. Of, no, actually, if I want to do acting as well, I will do acting alongside Zeze Millz. If I want to decide that, oh, actually, I might decide to be in a music video, maybe I will be in a music video. Do you get what I mean? If I feel like it fits my brand and it works well for my brand, then I will do it. So we don't all just like one thing. Like, when we go onto Netflix, we might watch a crime documentary, and then we might watch the Michael Jordan documentary, and then we might watch Beyonce's documentary. Do you get what I mean? So we all have different interests. So that's kind of how I see myself in. Not so much like the conventional interviewer either. I just always want to have like an open conversation with my guests. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Understand. That's nice, man. That's nice to hear. That is very cool. I feel like we've got to see a different side to you today, which is good.
Thank you.
Which I hoped for. People are saying they want a J Hus interview. Is it happening?
Oh gosh, guys, I don't even know what's happening with that JHC interview. We were like, again, who knows? That all happened because I DM'd him. I always DM people, by the way.
Yeah.
I DM people. I'm like, yo, how do you feel about coming on the show? Let's see what happens. And I DM'd him off just a wing thing, like, yeah, he ain't gonna reply, but we'll see what happens. So I just DM'd him. I said, oh, look, I just think I should be the first person that you speak with after, like, just before when you decide to do interviews. And he's just like, yeah, cool, why not? And then I don't think he likes doing interviews though.
Okay.
I don't think he likes it, and that's why he is also, because the last time I spoke to him, he said he's a bit weary about doing interviews with me. And I think that's another thing. I think that's another thing that stops people from coming on my show, because they think that I'm just there to catch them out. So they basically don't want to come on the show just in case I catch them out.
Yeah. Someone said, would you interview Katie Hopkins?
100%, since everyone says that I'm the black Katie Hopkins.
Is that what they call you?
I know, little shits, aren't they? Imagine, just because I'm opinionated, I'm the black Katie Hopkins. What kind of stupidness is that? But yeah, I would.
That's a serious one. That is actually a serious one. For real.
But with her, that is when you would have to do like big boy research, because she said so much wild things and stuff like that. You'd literally have to pull up all her old tweets and everything like that and question her. But yeah, definitely, I would. I'd love to interview all those type of people. I would. Yeah.
What people say the Wendy Williams comparison. Do you like that or not like that?
I don't mind it, because again, Wendy Williams has really she's done a really good job. But the reason why I don't really like that comparison, because I don't think Wendy Williams actually stands for anything. Like, I don't really know her opinion on anything outside of popular culture. Yeah. But to get what I mean, whereas I might talk about colorism, I might talk about racism, I might talk about, I don't know, something else going on. So I feel like I stand for maybe a little bit more other stuff than Wendy Williams. But Wendy Williams is obviously a league of her own. Yeah. People are saying Maya Jama, I don't know if they want you to interview her. I know. I think people just think that I don't like her, but just because of all some of the colorist tweets that came out. I don't have a problem with Maya Jama. I think, again, she's done really well for herself, to get what I mean. Yeah. I just had a problem with those tweets, and maybe the lack of repercussions. But that happens with everyone that tweets about black women. There's not really that much repercussions, you know what I mean? So that was my thing. I said, you know, if she said something maybe against other communities, there would have been a bigger, you know, there would have been another outcome. Okay, wicked. We've got 1 minute left, literally. I asked everyone to close the show. One piece of advice you would give to everyone, whether it's personal, career, business, coping in this season, something that's helped you get through the past 5 years from deciding, wow, acting might be it now. One piece of advice. I would say find your niche. Find your niche in an oversaturated market, and then stick to that and just keep going. So everything's always going to be oversaturated. Vlogging, blogging, interviewing, football, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You just find your thing that you're good at, or another angle in that thing that no one else is really doing, and then you just run with that. And I think that's what I've done. I just found that no one was really giving their honest opinion. So, okay, I'm going to be the person that does that. And then that's basically what happened. Sick. Everyone keeps saying Young Ads. Is there a thing there as well? Is he meant to be something on the group too? Young Ads he likes everyone, to be fair. But yeah, he'd be great to come on the show, but I don't know if he will come on. Who knows? Who knows? Everyone, drop your claps. Thank you. Millz, drop your claps in the comments. Thank you very much for giving us your time on this Friday night. Thank you, MOBO, for having me. It's an honor, honestly. Yeah, no, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming on. I hope the dog's okay. What's the dog's name? Dave. What a name. All right then, cool. See you later, yeah? All right, thank you. Bye. All right. Wicked, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into the Lowdown in Lockdown with MOBO. That's another week done. We had Angela Yee on first, which was just so amazing. Like, the stories she has, I can't wait for you guys to watch it back. And then we just caught up with Zeze Millz as well. Got a little bit about her career, her opinions, why she forms her opinions as well. It was good, man. Good stuff. Make sure you follow us. We're going to have another 2 amazing guests next week as well. And let me know who you want us to interview too. You can hit me up, DM MOBO, DM me, whoever you want us to talk to.
let me know. I'll make it happen for you. Yeah, 100%. You can watch this back as well. It's up on our YouTube channel. Last week, Ivorian Doll, Nadia Rose is up there as well. But everyone have a good weekend, good week until we see you next week as well. And stay safe, stay blessed. Bye-bye.